Hello friends, happy post-Thanksgiving and welcome back to another episode of Eat, Read, Sleep. We've been a little quiet on our side over here, just planning some fun, exciting things for 2023. So we thought we'd do something very different for this episode and kind of do a reflection, right? As we end the year, I think it'd be a good time for us to kind of sit and talk through our progress, what we've been up to the past 8 months since we both left our jobs. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some of our old videos. T is going to surprise me by pulling up one of our old videos and we'll just do a reaction shot for you guys and kind of, you guys can see what goes through our mind as we watch our stuff, and hopefully you don't agree with anything we have to say about our own videos.
And it's a good way to start off because I think it's humble beginnings, right?
Yes.
So like a lot of times as you reflect on where you are now versus where we started, it's quite a journey we've taken. I feel like every single video we've gotten better and better, but I'd love to go back and just say, oh my God, I can't believe we did that. So,
and I gotta say, T, every episode you surprise me more because, you know, we talk about the 1% here with Atomic Habits and just progress, but with each episode, I feel like it's much more than 1%. And like each time I'm like, whoa, how did you do that?
Yeah.
So it's very exciting to see. So I am nervous now to go back and look at our old stuff, not because of you, but just together, like how we put things together, how we scripted things together, and then put it out. So I mean, now just looking at our word art from before, I mean, I don't think it's bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's clear, it's to the point, it's just a little boring and dull.
We were kind of going for a color scheme.
Yes.
So I think that's what we were doing, but I did want to just start off with our first summary, which was the 4 agreements.
Oh dear.
So this was quite a trip.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, let's go back from the beginning.
I should have done my hair more.
Welcome friends, Kalina and Tapas here from Eat, Read, Sleep, and this is
the
short
lighting.
book review segment.
It's very bright on my
and provide
face.
Quotes.
I look so young, and it's only been 8 months.
No, I think we both look a lot younger in this. So the funny thing,
this has aged us.
I mean, you know, creativity will definitely age us. But the interesting thing about this is that this is before we had any kind of teleprompter or anything like that, right?
Yes.
So we were literally just reading notes on the bottom. And then looking up and reading, and it's just like, and I was like, this is the best we can do, right? So that's what we did, but it was
Today's
you can really
book is
tell.
The 4 Agreements.
Oh, that
Practical
font.
Guide to Personal Freedom.
You know how I'm
written by
particular
Don
about my
Miguel.
fonts.
The intent to increase your
So
own
washed
personal
out.
happiness.
Yes.
Contains self-development and personal.
So for all of our filmmakers, cinematographers, I just had a harsh light on each of us. So like, it wasn't even like, you know, like this kind of lighting where it's like, color graded. It was just straight out of camera, and the light was just super harsh. So it's just like you know, your faces looks all black, washed out. Mine too.
Yeah.
So
you know what I find really interesting is that we had just left our jobs, and in our jobs we were expected to dress more business professional or whatever. So then when we started this, we're like, F all that. We're just gonna wear whatever we want. We're just gonna show up comfortable and cozy and just like whatever. And I think after these first few episodes, we're like, oh, that's not right. We can't just.
We need a good balance between the two, I feel like. But the orange couch is there.
It's broken down into 6 parts. The first part is
so this is so we definitely did it where a lot of these were. I would just type it all up, and I remember after we posted, you're like, T, did you read this at all? Because there's so many like typos in there. I'm like, no, I was just trying to rush through and trying to get it through.
It's like random capitalizations and no periods.
It was just all bad.
I'm too serious, not smiling. I think I was like so nervous trying to.
We're trained to
Let's go to my part now.
Okay.
The book, be impeccable with your words. This is the most important and the most difficult.
So this is when I learned I can't read out loud. You remember how many takes I took to do this? Like I would read it and I would look up and I'm like, what's my line again? And then look down. I was a terrible actor. I would be a terrible actor. And I am out of focus. My
I was going to say why. That's why I was like shocked. I was like, why are you so fuzzy?
Yeah, it's camera. The book back there is fully in focus.
Yeah,
right there.
By to create the.
See, I think you looked up once in a while, but I'm just
that can speak words, and our words are like magic.
How does it make you feel inside?
It's so painful that I actually put this out there.
But it's so cool to have something to compare to.
Yes.
Because I think our last episode, if you guys did not watch our last episode, please take out 7 minutes of your time for that. That's my absolute favorite one that we've done so far. It's a parody for Ryan Holiday's newest book, Discipline is Destiny.
Yep.
So that compared to this, it's quite growth right there, my friend. Great job. Even with our script, right? This was so boring. It's literally just like pulling passages from the book and just
to someone else, even when we are the ones
reading it like
so to truly
a robot.
I mean, we were just learning on scripting. I was learning on even making a decent video. Before this, it was just we would shoot video podcasts, but that wasn't that great quality.
Yeah.
So
I think to be fair, we started off as podcasts like a few years ago, and so we've never had to worry about aesthetics and all of that.
Yeah.
It looks like.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Your laugh makes me nervous. All right, which one you got up? 7 Habits.
My name is Tapas.
And
discussion.
My name is Kalina.
Oh, that's dark lighting.
Yes, I went the opposite direction now.
This is how you do. That flickering.
It's got cinematic. Look at that.
Awesome. This book is all about our perceptions and how we see the world
Your
differently
lighting
from
there's
one
not
another.
bad.
To
So you spent more time fixing your lighting than my lighting.
No, look at it. I'm going in and out. Look, it's like blinking.
From one another. To change a situation, we need to first change ourselves. And in order to change ourselves...
Alright, so the first 3 habits are focused on a private...
That's cute. Like the music and word art. We spent more time doing word art before.
Yeah, we did.
Which I think I really liked. Like, it's more of a resource and it really helped me maintain the materials. I don't know if it really helped anyone watching it, but I like that we combine that because more recently we've veered away from word art.
One thing that bothers me when I see this is that I did not align it. So there's like
I see that gap up
right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
At all possible,
editing has come a long way.
This is the continual...
You know, it's a double-edged sword, though, because as your editing gets better, my critiquing and attention to detail gets even more precise, right? Because now, like, you put out something, I'm like, oh, that flashlight, or this and that. And it's just, you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, no, I see it. Change it.
All right, let's go to the next one. So this is the one. This is that's the summary where we kind of changed it up a little bit, right?
Okay,
so
let's see. That's the first time we did that.
This one. So like now we changed the lighting.
I like
more,
that.
Right?
Yes, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wow, even just from our first episode to this one, what number do you think this one is? Like,
this is the 4th book.
Okay.
Right, so we're here.
I mean,
so
I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th book.
The 5th book.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Like, and we were doing a book a week.
So
that was just within a month that you really just started amping it up like that.
I had always wanted to do it this style. I remember, but then you and I were talking about it. Like, it looks weird if there's like lighting in the back and it's dark. You want it to be bright. And I was like,
that depth too.
Yeah,
we were like,
depth looks really good.
Before we start, though, this is your official spoiler.
This was probably, I mean, we had how many views on it? This is the one that kind of broke us out a little bit, right? We have almost 10,000 views on this one. So like, this is the one that kind of like, I guess the change really helped kind of bring the views up.
Yeah.
This was the funnest one, and this was also the first book that we did that was not like a leadership, like
straight like
nonfiction book. This was like a first, like, I mean, it's one of the most popular books we've done too.
Yeah.
I still get people today telling me like, "Oh, you guys review my favorite book, The Alchemist." I'm like, yeah, it was actually one of our favorites too. So.
All the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. In the
I really liked this one.
Edition of this book,
and then I remember with this one, when it started getting a bit more dramatic in the storytelling, you started using more of that dramatic music and sound and changing that up. Because I think before we were just either doing one sound or like less focus on the music. And this definitely brought it was like the ambiance of watching. Because this one is also a bit darker. Would you say that's like cinematic? Like it's darker.
Yeah.
But then we've got the lighting, the uplighting and all of that. It just created a much more like a vibe to it.
Yeah. But one thing that's so, I think with this video is the sound is not like, it's very like I sound very nasally. You can hear
And
it?
that's equipment sound, or that's just you?
That's because I didn't set the setting on the camera correctly. So the camera was overblowing my sound. So we all sound kind of like nasally.
Mm.
So let's go next
I think
one.
nasally works for me. My high-pitched voice.
It's,
But I like that one.
Yeah.
We're starting to get into the stuff where it's like, okay, not bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Our funnest one, I think, at least for me, the funnest one was the 48 Laws.
Yes. I think that is a bit dark, though.
It's really dark.
I know we intend it to be dark, but it's not that, like, bright dark that we
Yeah,
talked about.
yeah. Like the previous video's lighting with this would have been good.
Yes, but you did a good job with these overlays and, like, these
Yeah.
pictures. I like that, because that was new.
That was new, yeah. We started adding these things in. And then also, this is the first time I changed the camera system. So, like, it's
this
more
is when you bought
HDR.
that new camera,
Yep.
and you're like, ta-da!
Yep. And, I mean, instantly you can tell, like, it's less grainy, there's more detail.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it made the entire workflow better.
This was probably the one also where my script started to be more us versus more of the book. Because what I was doing before was tailoring all my script to what the book was. And then we sat down and we're like, okay, how do we make it so that everyone understands it, makes it very, like, straight and to the point and clear?
Yeah.
And we just cut out all of the, like, verbiage from the book and just
Right.
made it sound more like us. Oh, and this is when I started adding colors to the
Yes.
to the
This is the
word
one,
art
yeah.
and all of our
We
stuff like
really
that.
deviated from that whole thing.
Yeah, you can tell, like, the first couple of videos and the word, it was boring, like, dull.
Yeah.
And then we started getting more color and more vibrant and more moody with the
Yep.
books.
Do you remember how many times we did this take?
Oh my gosh. So we recorded this, and then the next day you're like, don't be mad.
The window was open and we had the fan on, so it was like flickering happening back here.
Yep.
And then we did that. Yeah.
We did that again. And then the audio was
Audio
off.
was off.
Yes.
So this is a take that we used, but the audio in this take was terrible because I set the audio setting on my camera to the highest, and then I set the microphone audio to highest, so like you could not like hear. It was just so loud.
I remember I was so over this one.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I cannot shoot this one anymore. I'm just over it. I don't care. Just put it out. So done with it.
So I had to get we hired somebody online and I sent them the audio file and they fixed it for us, and this is what it came on, which is, you know, like I can still kind of hear it, but significantly better than what it was before.
Yeah. I think I should cut my hair again. What do you think? Should I have longer hair or shorter hair?
It's about the same.
It's not the same. It's like
Your hair is going up
2
to the...
inches shorter.
Oh, yes. The big one.
The big one.
The We Quit.
Yes.
I think this is probably my favorite project that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time we deviated, but this was our story about us quitting our jobs.
Yes.
So I feel like this one kind of really challenged me a little bit too.
When you do these shots on your own, they're really good. I think your artistic creativity comes out more when you don't listen to me.
It's hard to do. It's hard not to listen to you because you sit in the desk right behind me. So.
No, T.
Like,
T, do this.
why is it so bright?
T, do
Why is
this.
it not bright enough? I really liked how this one turned out. Like the look of it. I know, me too.
Yeah,
kind of the rawness of it. I liked it a lot. And these are all true stories, by the way, too.
Oh, yes.
Right. So this is not, I guess, us exaggerating. It's just.
I'm glad we don't have to have these conversations anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Too dark. Needs to be dark bright.
You said this was the right amount. We went through this. This is how it's normally is, guys. We went through this so many times. You're like, this looks right.
Do you understand dark bright now?
I do.
This is not dark bright. This is just dark.
I thought this was dark, and then you said, no, this is just right. I want it to be like dark. I want it to be moody. So that's what we did this way.
I don't like it.
See, it changes like every. Look at the shot that I thought was dark and.
Oh yeah, the opening scene. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Why
see,
didn't
and
you
that
do that for the rest of the video?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's great.
we could have.
Yeah.
I had it that bright, but you're like, no.
No, you didn't. You
It's
know why? It's because you show me on this monitor, and this monitor, I don't know why you work on the monitor that's not realistic. Like, everything on here makes me look orange and Oompa Loompa-ish. And then you're like, do you like this? And I'm like, no, I don't. And then you change it, and then when you publish it, I was like, that's not what I saw.
right. Yeah,
It's different.
That is true. And then, so this is the book that we did, where we actually had the author on our podcast, Joseph Nguyen.
And this was a fun one. Oh, this was the hardest summary to do.
This was for me, this was the funnest because I'm more off script.
Yes,
person.
you're really good with not being told what to say or what to do.
And it's probably because I can't read properly enough. So like, you're really good at reading and saying the words. So for me, I'm much more natural, I guess, like in terms of just a natural conversation.
Yeah.
So this was like right up my alley. But you, I think you really struggled with this one.
This was
because we put the teleprompter so far from you, so there were
because I'm also blind, like I can't see anything.
And we had two scripts, so you had this monitor on the left here and the teleprompter going.
Yeah.
But this is good lighting.
We're going to be talking about how our thinking causes our suffering.
No? I mean, you think you look orange, but see, that's what you look. That's what this looks like.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's what it is. Yes. We still have it signed out right in front of the den. And so just so anybody who's watching this, my character was heavily influenced by one of our favorite shows, Ted Lasso. So like I binged so many seasons of Ted Lasso before watching this, and I just fell in love with that show. And then you had started watching it too. So we're like, okay, we should do one where I'm Ted Lasso. That's the inspiration behind this character.
Tomas, you're 2 minutes late. Come on in.
And then you had to do the opposite, where you were like super serious.
So I would say here, I don't think that. I have one critical feedback right there.
Okay, what is it?
The time lapse of you going in and then the scene from the inside doesn't match up.
How so? Let's see it. Okay, I'm curious now.
Topas, you're 2 minutes late. Come on in.
So you're right there. So you need to start in a little bit more.
Okay.
Because that backshot you're already in, so it's needs to be a little more seamless there. Just next time.
It's not that bad. And I'm holding a copy of a USPS label. How do you want me?
This is so funny.
This is totally ad-lib too.
Yeah,
I think I just made it up.
A lot of this.
George Seinfeld. My favorite character. What else?
You guys should have seen my face. I was like, what is happening? Because we didn't script this part. No. So he's just like rolling around like, when is this going to end?
I was just trying so hard to make you laugh in this, so that I would just bring up random characters out of nowhere. Like Kate Winslet was totally unplanned.
I even had the script on my laptop, and I still couldn't get it.
You had 3 scripts. You had it on that. You had it. There's a teleprompter on the left, left of me here, and the computer on the right over here.
We spent way too long doing this one. And then also, I think there was just so much pressure that I put on myself because I knew we were interviewing and talking with Joseph himself, right? So I didn't want him to be like, what is wrong with these people? Like, she can't even, like, clearly talk about my book. So I think I was just so nervous creating this part.
One more, Sapiens.
Yes.
This is probably the most fun, I think we also had too.
I actually thought you were going to say, Don't Give an F.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one too.
But this one, yes, is my favorite.
Yeah, because, I mean, the book itself was so heavy and so, long. But you did a good job with the script. I think we had good transitions, good pacing, and then the characters. So I think this was probably one of I would say my favorite.
Yeah, I love this one the much because my natural element of acting and being me, it just came more natural. So I like that much more.
What is this? You can get a real one?
It was all I had. I took it from my daughter's room. Sorry.
I'm Professor T, and this is...
It's great seeing you in that character too. Yes. Like, you're just like, I'm so tired of you calling that. Like,
These are all natural reactions, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it's a little too good. A little too, it's like you've been like holding it in your head, like you've been wanting to say it to me for so long.
13.8 billion years ago.
And we'll start using some of these graphics.
Yes, that was fun. Well, I think you also had much more time with this one,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
before we were trying to crank them out so quickly
Yeah.
that it wasn't fair to you in terms of giving you the time to do it the way that you wanted to.
Yeah, I think given them more time, I was able to like think of different things to add on.
Yeah.
So this was really good. I mean, we had and then I think the word art on this one was like perfect.
Much more
so good.
Closer to the book.
Thank you, Lena. Thank you. This
like that.
word art was so good.
Much more dramatic. So it's a good blend of like funny, silly, and then also professional serious to match the book.
Yeah.
With this book, I actually have had a lot of people tell me they couldn't get through it. So I know a lot of people who haven't even finished this book, which I know for me came down to the wire. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, we did like, I think we love the cognitive revolution, and then after that agricultural kind of like you kind of lose.
It got long, yeah.
Yeah, it gets long, and then after that scientific. But
you like the scientific part.
I mean, because I'm analytical. You did such a good job
with being ditzy.
Yeah, your randomness in there.
Yeah, much more natural for me. This book, I think, is very important to read. I got a lot out of it, and I reflect back on a lot of the content of this book.
Yeah.
It was my favorite part here.
Just randomly take ice cream out. That was so funny.
It's also the reason why we
Too late, huh?
Yeah. So the reason why there's a lot more B-roll in this part is because you're completely out of focus.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I'm not gonna see, you're still out of focus. I'm in focus. Our most recent one.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we did discipline.
Our last one.
Yep.
This was a great idea you added last minute as the intro.
Oh yeah.
Because we didn't have it like this.
Why, hello there. Are your habits all over the place? Do you need help with soft?
The music. Perfect.
Yeah. Your phone listens to your constant whining and sends you this ad for a reason.
The focus there is really good.
My name is Kalina, and together
and then the music, all of this, it just came together really, really well.
Yeah. This is probably our best one that we've done. And,
yeah. In terms of, I think also change of scenery, movement.
So, I mean, the book itself is also very serious. So I love the idea that you had, which is make it fun, make it funny, make it light.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it turned out really good because we made it, I think it's probably our funniest one that we made.
Yeah.
Where you just like yelling at me the whole time as my life coach.
Attack the dawn.
My daughter's room.
Get out of bed, you lazy piece of Get that hour before daylight. Cherish your time and remember what is at stake.
I was showing my kids this and they're like, why are you yelling at Uncle Tap Tap? That's not nice. And I think with this book, there's just so many checklists and points that being able to just pull the ones that are more pertinent to us, I think made it a little more personable. So I like that. George actually thought this was magic. He's like, wow, how did you do that? It was really cute. I like this because it's not, it's a bit shaky.
Yeah.
It's a bit more real.
Right.
Like
it's cold.
Run a marathon.
This is where I was like, don't blow the whistle because I don't want my neighbors to be like, because we're right from my neighbor's house. And then what do you actually blow the whistle?
Blow the whistle. Perfect Phoebe run.
Yep.
Sleep on the ground.
Oh my God.
Also implement.
My daughter saw this one. She's like, can I do that to you? I'm like, no, that is not cool.
Yeah. George was like, you're not nice, Mommy. Yeah, the coloring of this, I like also quality. So, I mean, I would say if we looked back, it's good that our initial first stuff sucked. Right? You get to see the progress. You get to see the growth. And it feels really good to know that that's where we started and this is where we are now. And obviously we still have a lot more room to grow. And apparently we'll be aging a lot more also in the next 8 months.
Hopefully not as much
But
as we did.
I would say, like, I'm pretty impressed and really happy that we've done all of this, because it does feel pretty good.
And I think us giving ourselves the opportunity to actually go into this and follow our dreams, I think giving ourselves the time to do it.
Yeah.
Like, look how much we changed and we improved from just 6 months. Imagine if we had given ourselves the time, like a long time ago, right? But obviously there's obligations and responsibilities that we had to take care of first. But, you know, look at that. Like 6 months. That's why I'm like, what's the next 6-7 months going to look up for us, where we can be doing even much bigger production?
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
Hopefully.
Stay tuned.
But I do think that one thing for me to take away from this, and something that you have taught me from the very beginning, is you just got to start. You just have to put something out, even if it's not great. And through the process, we were very forgiving of ourselves and very graceful in terms of saying, like, you know what, it's not the best, but just put it out so that we can move on to something else, and kind of not necessarily cut our losses, but we knew when time was not being spent in a valuable way.
Right.
We're like, okay, well, you know, it's not so great. Let's just crank it out and we can put more energy into the next one. We've made a lot of changes along the way. So we started off with 1 book a week and we had a reason to that, right? We wanted to have a huge backlog and vault of content. And then it was like, okay, well, is it reasonable? Are we stressing ourselves out? How do we scale back? What do we need to do? And so we started doing every other week. And then now we're doing more of like every 3 to 4 weeks. And that's because we're incorporating other things. And it's just, you know, it also allows us to grow so much more because we're not putting that pressure on ourselves to just crank things out, and to spend more time learning and reflecting. And I think that's the most important thing, because I don't really reflect much, and when we were doing once a week, we couldn't reflect.
We talked about this too when we started scaling back a little bit. It became a thing where we weren't enjoying the books as much too. Like, we were reading the books just for the sake of reading the books, just to get through it, versus now where we actually read it and we're like, oh, like, we actually enjoy it. We can actually take it all in and you know, thoroughly like put it into our lives. Before, we're just like, oh, dude, I gotta get to Sapiens, and we're like pressuring each other, like, oh my god, we have to get to in 2 weeks. It didn't make it fun to read the book, but now I think now that we scaled back a little bit, it's brought that back.
It got to a point where it felt like work.
Yes.
And I think that was when there was that one day I was like, I have a secret to tell you. I was like, I'm reading a fiction book.
I like, same here. Like, me too. I
was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, all we've been doing is reading nonfiction, and all the books we're reading is like power and thinking, power and thinking. And I was like, I don't want to have power or think anymore. Like, I just want to just chill.
Yeah.
So
you were reading nonfiction. I mean, you were reading fiction. I started reading Game of Thrones just because I was like, oh, it's because I wanted something else from what we were currently doing.
Yeah, and I think that's really important to just be okay with, because I think a lot of people who start off with YouTube channels, they think that they have to have the right formula right away, and it has to have success in X amount of time. And it works for some people. Some people do have that, but I think for the majority of the time, it's very rare to have that as well. And I think sticking through it and being proud of your process along the way and not making it stressful, because I know there were a lot of times where I was like, well, our numbers aren't great, our viewership isn't great, our subscription isn't great. You would have to like remind me, like, this isn't our old job. Like, it's not about the numbers. It's, you know, it's, are we doing something we're really proud of? Everything else will fall into place. So I think as long as you stick to that, and I mean, do you have any recommendations or tips or suggestions for people starting off with new YouTube channel?
I think just being consistent as we we've been trying to make sure we're constantly uploading things, and then getting better. I think it's taking for me, especially my editing. I've like watched so many videos about how to improve lighting, how to improve editing, how to improve camera work, all that kind of stuff, where like now I'm looking at, like, you know, what we talked about today, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I put that out there. But yes, I needed to put that out there just so I can learn.
That's the only way to learn, right?
So
and that's so impressive that you learn all this by yourself. You self-taught all of this.
And one thing I will tell you, like, there will be never 100%. Like, I feel great about what I'm putting out there. There will always be some things that you're like, that was okay. I could have done that better, but that's okay. That's a part of making videos and making film, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
It's about just putting it out there. 91% is still an A.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm all about. That's Ryan Holiday's thing.
Yeah, and remember that whatever percentage you have in your mind, it's all subjective. You know, maybe to you, even if you think something's 100%, someone else is going to think that it's not. They're always going to have something to say about it. So just focus on you, focus on your own product, what you want to put out, what you're proud of, and don't worry about what you're supposed to do or what other people think. All of it's going to come into play. Like, we're not where we want to be with this channel, but think of the what's been brought to us in terms of like external sources and connection and networking and other things that we are working on that we're going to be excited to announce in the upcoming weeks. Different opportunities, right? So putting yourself out there, putting yourself in a vulnerable space so you can grow and learn and be open to receive other things, I think allows you to grow. Maybe one day our channel will get bigger. If not, I mean, I'm okay with it because at least for us, this is something that we're doing that we can look back and be like, dang, like, you know, I'm proud to share this with my kids and be like, you can try, you can do what you want to do and just see where it goes.
Yeah. So it's fun. I can't wait to do another one next year.
It's reflection
time.
It's always important to reflect. So past 8 months, very cool, wild ride. And I'm very proud to say, like, we hit very minimal bumps, right? They're more like undulations. And whenever we were you know, not necessarily bumping heads, but had a difference of opinion on certain things. Like, we took a step back to be like, okay, why does the other person think this way? And like, how could I approach it differently? And just like very, not necessarily stoic approach, but I think that much, it's not an approach that we would have taken in our last job.
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Like,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So learning about YouTube and producing videos, but also learning about ourselves and how to be a much calmer and graceful person with our emotions. I think that's time to go. Thank you guys for spending the last, I don't know how long was that, 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Probably.
Maybe an hour, 2 hours? I don't know. However time you have spent with us, thank you so much. And we really appreciate that you've been with us along the past 8 months that we've been doing this. It's been enormously fun. And having you guys as part of our community to support and show the love the way that you guys have been has been everything to us. So I hope you guys go into the holiday season with lots of joy and fun. And we've also have some more fun episodes coming up before the year closes. So we'll see you guys then. This is Kalina
and Tapis
for Eat, Read, Sleep, and we are out.
Bye guys.